We normally have our patient pillowed under the cervical spine and under the knees there. I'm going to have you slide just a little bit forward on the table. And then I'm going to throw myself right down here. Now, she's going to feel super secure when I start pulling her back because she's going to be right against my body. We don't really have to worry about the idea of me sitting on the table because really as a massage therapist, sitting on the table like this would be a no-go when your patient is disrobed. But I'm in clothes, she's in clothes, we're good to rock and roll. So then from here, I can loop under like this and she can kind of relax and give it away. And I'm just going to hook over top of her shoulder. From here, I can do things like do this full-on type of traction or lengthening movement. I can do this into circular movements as well. Beautiful. I can change the direction with this, right? So because she's not in this prone position, it kind of frees her up to get some better movement or different, not necessarily better, but different movement or movement that's a little bit more free than if we were in a prone position. I can also take my hand here and I'll turn around to do this as well so you can see this in a different angle. And I can start to do things like rotate the scapula upward. So in this case, my thumb is right against the medial border, close to the inferior angle. I'm abducting the GH while I create this upward rotation. I mean, the upward rotation is a natural movement that occurs, the component motion associated with the physiological movement of abduction. Those are a lot of words. So I'm going to add that into the mix. I can also come in, and again, I'll turn around to show you guys as well. I can also come in and throw my fingers underneath or, deep to the medial border of the scapula and kind of distract the scapula, pulling off the thoracic cage while I do these types of movements. Let's turn around so we can see this in a different angle. So from here, again, actually have you slide a little bit further down towards me. That'd be good. Down this way. Perfect. So she feels super secure as I'm sitting here. I loop under, and again, some of my movements here, I can get this pretty good stretch as I depress the scapula. As I'm depressing the scapula with this movement, it's also going to have a downward rotation of it. As here, slight upward rotation through my elevation. I can also throw in this retraction, and this retraction, her body's not rolling anywhere because my knee is right against the spine. So I'm against the spine and in the space between the medial border and the vertebral column. She's not going anywhere, which allows me to further retract this bad boy. Not only can I further retract this bad boy, I can start to really open this up if I really wanted to. Not only can I open this up if I really wanted to, I can start to throw in some compression right into this area. And again, what feels good? Does it feel better when I compress this and bring this superior medial? Does it feel better when I compress it and just bring it straight medial? Does it feel better when I compress it and bring it inferior medial? And I'll ask my patient, what does it feel like? What does she prefer in these moments? I can also take this and start to open up the chest a little bit differently. And I'll show you two different not position, but from different angles. So if I can have you turn over, and let's go camera 2 on this. And we'll face this way. So it's the same type of opening up to the chest, but now I'm really going to go kind of table tie on us. So I'm going to start putting my feet in places. So from here, I'm going to have the arm bringing it back. And I just want to go with whatever's comfortable with her. I might give it a little shake to get rid of whatever holding patterns might be there. And I'm going to start this guy off with my foot right in here into the lumbar region. I can also place the ball of my foot into the left side, so the side closer to the ceiling, right into the paraspinals, into QLs. I can compress all the time. It's opening up her chest. Hey, guess what? What am I doing here? Am I doing some work to the lower back? Heck yeah. And I'm opening up her chest? Heck yeah. What else? She's a massage therapist. Can't I also throw all of this lovely stuff in the mix, right? Can't I start working that forearm while I do these movements? For sure. Can I open this up even further by pulling her back? Whatever's comfortable. Are you okay with that? You sure? We want to go with what's comfortable for her. I can start to move my foot up the spine slightly. And then again, using my foot to create those compressions into the paraspinals as I'm opening this guy up. I can throw my foot right into the space between the medial border and the vertebral column. I start to compress the ball of my foot into that space. Super easy to do, feels great for the patient. We can also add in hip stuff with this as well. So I'm going to have you turn and face the other way, and we can go camera 1 on this, and then eventually we'll go camera 2. Oftentimes when we're doing stuff into the hip, trying to open up the hip, not open up the hip like an out flare, I'm talking about hip extension types of movements, right? We might, I'll excuse my back to the camera, we might do a movement something like this, right? Well, we can do that same type of movement, but I'm lazy. I've been a massage therapist for 16 years. I've been a kinesiologist for 22. I don't want to do work if I don't have to. So I'm doing this because I'm lazy. But when I'm lazy, I can also take this bad boy right here. And now look at this hip extension movement. So easy for me to do. I can even do this with this hip in slightly abducted position, find out which one of these feels better for my patient or client, what's this going to feel like. I can bring in rectus femoris more into the mix by flexing that knee and then extending that hip. But I want to find out what feels better for her in these moments. I'm going to take your arm again. We can bring this back here. Perfect. I'm going to put this guy up here. And then here's our movement. And then I can oscillate that through those compressions.